It's time to check out. Very last day here in this lovely city, and we had to go to see Alcatraz. Even though I've been there about 5 times at this point, Mami has never been. So I think it's a perfect birthday celebration to go and see a prison. There's only one company that does it, and it's called Alcatraz Cruises. They have the monopoly. If you're planning to go to Alcatraz, you need to buy your tickets way ahead in advance. And when I mean way in advance, I mean about 3 to 5 months. We were absolutely lucky that 2 tickets opened up for Sunday, the day that we actually were leaving. There were no other open tickets for months. So make sure that you're checking that before. Prices to go to the island and do the tour is about $38, and you get an audio tour as well. Because Northern California packs all the tech companies in the world. Google, Facebook, YouTube, you name it, their headquarters are here, which makes rent ridiculously expensive. So for like a 500 square foot studio, you may be paying $3,000 to $4,000. But for a 2-bedroom apartment, don't even think about it. So we are now in Alcatraz, which is about 1.25 miles away from the city. Now, despite a lot of rumors about Alcatraz, it is not as scary nor crazy as you may think. However, you are going to be able to learn a little bit more about the history of this place. Let's go back in time, all the way down to the Spanish conquistadors and explorers. When they saw these islands in the area, they called this La Isla de los Alcatrazes. Once the US buys California from Mexico on the Hidalgo deal, they find this island and they start thinking, how can they maximize its usability? So they decided to use it as a guarding point, right? Because it's outside the bay, so it's easy to see what's coming to San Francisco if there's any kind of attack. In those days, there was only 300 people in San Francisco. However, that's when the gold rush starts. And San Francisco goes from having 300 to 20,000 people. And in those days, that was quite a lot. However, everything comes to an end. So the gold rush. So at a certain point, they realized that it wasn't necessary to have guards here. And the military stopped having reign over the island and it passed it down to the government. And that's when they start construction of the prison. The imprisonment of people here was not only bad guys, but people that were against the government. And they will send them over here to kind of keep them quiet. Imagine having to spend the rest of your days in a room this size. It is actually the same size as an official pool table. Well, it was never proven if somebody escaped or not. There were a few attempts, most of them fatal, and some of them almost successful. The 3 more famous escapees was Morris and the Anglin brothers, which until this day have not been found. What they did is they used spoons to make holes through this hole. And that concludes the tour of the cellars. So we're gonna start heading back to the ferry so it can take us back to the city and we can continue our day. But now let me tell you a little bit more about the Native American takeover. the time that Native American tribes decided to come to the island and lived here for 19 months. Native Americans leaders wanted to use this as like an activity place, but then one day they decided to gather some tribes and come and take over the island. Not only one time the Native Americans tried to occupy the island, there were a total of 3. The first one lasted 4 hours in 1961, the second one in 1964 lasted about 11 days, and then on the third one they were able to stay for 19 months. It was about 100 Native Americans from different tribes, but at the end it was really hard to keep getting supplies, getting medicine, getting water, and anything like that. So in 1971, around July, the government sent some police to take the last few Native Americans that were in the island and remove them, and that's when the takeover ended. With that said, we're out of Alcatraz and heading back to the city for some lunch because we're starving. But if you are in San Francisco, make sure to visit the island. Just make sure to get your tickets really ahead of the game. 3, 2, 1.